stream again.
Yep, and you are going to be live now. You are live.
Oh, you should have told me that.
You're live.
Let me take you off speaker so the whole world doesn't hear us chatting. Or they could.
Take you off speaker so the whole world doesn't hear us chatting. Or they could.
All right. So for those of you watching, I'm doing multiple things here. I think we just got that up and running, if I'm correct. So I'm live for everyone that's there. I don't know what's going on right now. John has hooked me up over the phone because he was a very busy man, and he hooked me up for a new thing that I've never done before. Where do I see this live at? It's not showing me live, or there it is. Nope. Okay. Because when I press the stream thing, it's still showing the other. Hold on, let me switch there because I still have the preview window up from the other one. Hello, everyone. We're doing a little work here, trying to get things worked out. I have John on the phone trying to help me. We're doing this whole thing tonight for those who are watching on Facebook and other places who did pick this up. We did plan on going live, but there's some glitches with some stuff, and then John's hooking me up with this brand new stuff so we can broadcast everywhere. So bear with us. I will have an open question night. You can ask all kinds of stuff. Howie just sent a new link. So apparently we're live on a new link, and he just shared it. So there I am. I can see myself now. So I'm live with the giant Zoom logo in the bottom left-hand corner. So he put it in the chat. So apparently it created a second one. I'm on YouTube looking at it. Yeah. Yeah. So now people are coming on. I see DJ Rez, Rob A. How you doing? Sorry about that. We're just doing some new things for those of you who just popped on to the YouTube. I have John on the phone trying to help me because we're doing this whole new thing called Restream, which I've never done before. And it's kind of neat because we get to broadcast to all kinds of different platforms instead of just YouTube. So hang in with me there. I will take the questions. I'll stay on as long as you guys want tonight. I'm here for you guys. Someone is ordering pizza. I love pizza. I just had pizza the other day, which I kind of try to limit myself because I eat too much of it. So John, I'm going to be talking to John for 1 second. So those of you who are there online, hold on a second. John, what should I be doing? Am I good? Right. All right. So you'll have to text me how to shut this off here when we get off the phone so that I know what to do. Oh, excellent. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Bye. Okay, thank you guys for kind of hanging out with me. I apologize about that. It was just kind of crazy. We were having some connection problems and different things like that. I'm going to go ahead and share this with the news spot, just so that the two places that I posted it, that people will know that it's now the new link. But I am going to take questions. The chat is open, so I can see that. So feel free to drop questions. I don't have any kind of fancy stuff tonight. We're not going to do multiple screens. I have none of that to show tonight. So feel free to we're open questions about lots of stuff. And I even have some inside information about some stuff that I may share tonight, even though I probably shouldn't share, but I think I might even share anyways. Hold on here. I can't type and talk at the same time, apparently. So that is there. Just sharing a link on the different places that I have. Like I said, give me 10 seconds. I'll pop the chat up. We will look at the chat and see what questions you guys have. So give me one more second here, and I need to move this over to here, and I got 20 screens open, and hopefully soon. And I'm going to drop this in here, and I'm live there, so I can see myself live on the other thing, so that's cool. All right, so that's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm seeing questions pop down there. Give me 10 seconds to kick over to the questions. And again, I apologize. It's I'll tell the whole story here in a minute. Once everybody gets on here, I'll kind of tell the whole story because there's actually a lot to this. What actually brought all of this around, because it's just bananas. What all brought this around? So it was a long journey to get where I'm at right now. So those who are watching, hello, welcome. This is music and mixing, and 90% of the time when we do music and mixing, it is done with I'm usually set up behind me there, and I have the turntables out, not the turntables, but my controller out, and little camera over top so you can see things. But tonight I kind of wanted to do it a little bit differently because I had a lot of stuff going on, and I kind of wanted to just do it sitting here at the desk where I'm able to talk and answer specific questions. It doesn't mean I can't answer questions about mixing. I can, but we're kind of taking this from here and seeing how things are going. Again, a big major shout out to John for helping me with this. Because the way I do it through open broadcast software, I can only hit one thing at a time, but doing it through this service, I can hit multiples. So possibly we can do that. I'm not going to be able to watch all of the chats on all of the different feeds that we're at. So if you're watching on Disc Jockey News via Facebook or my Rewind Report via Facebook or anything like that, I'm probably not going to be able to hit all the questions there. I am going to try to keep an eye out so that if anybody does have any questions, I'm going to try to look at them there. But for the most part, we're just going to take the questions via YouTube. And I see a bunch in there. Give me 10 seconds to jump over there. I do want to go to the Disc Jockey News Facebook page and leave it open. So if anybody pops any questions in there, I'm going to try to take a look at that. But it's been crazy. It's been a long journey to get here. For those who follow me, you know that I've done some work to my computer. I've had this studio computer. I mean, my DJ computer is quite new. That I always stay up on. Trust me. I have a really good a DJ computer with multiple hard drives, multiple SD drive, solid state drives in it. It has its own onboard video card, all kinds of stuff like that. It's very powerful, and that's what I normally do broadcasting back there from. And my studio computer I've had forever and a day. I am watching that. So hello to Scott watching us on Facebook, and Michael Moore for watching us on Facebook. Thanks for hanging out. We're also over on YouTube. But the process is, about 8 months ago, I kept saying that I want to get a new studio computer because my studio computer is 10 years old, and in the world of technology, that's like super old. It's like crazy old, and I've been talking about it, and tried to look at different ones. And I thought about getting another laptop like I have to use as a studio computer. Then that would be a backup for DJing if my DJ computer ever went down. So this was the process of all this. And then back in July, middle of second week of July, something like that, I got up one morning, turned the studio computer on, and it was having trouble booting up. It was kind of like clicking and doing stuff. And my first thought is okay, I think it's a hard drive issue. And a boot up issue with the hard drive, because like I said, it's 10 years old and things crap out. And what I did was had a friend of mine, because I didn't know too many people that still had towers. So I hit up a DJ friend of mine, DJ RTG, awesome dude. I said, can I bring my hard drive over, put it in your tower, and see if it does the same thing? Well, it did the same thing in his, so I knew it was the hard drive. So I ended up having another hard drive that I loaded with the operating system and started from scratch, and it was great. It really sped things up, and I was kind of amazed that how much it sped it up. And I was like, well, gee, I should probably, possibly maybe throw some RAM in it. So I decided to go ahead and drop, I think it was $56 on RAM. I bought 2 sticks of RAM, dropped it in there, and it took, I kind of judged it. Not only did everything speed up, but I took it when I render the videos for Disc Jockey News. I checked the time on how long it takes to render them, and that's usually pretty process heavy, those sorts of things. And I went from doing a 4 minute, 27 second render Adding the 2 sticks of RAM brought it down to 3 minutes and 17 seconds. So it took over a minute off just doing the RAM. And then my friend RTG's like, dude, you should just put a solid state in there. And I'm like, I hawed around about it. And then when Prime Days came around, I hit the people up on Disc Jockey News. I said, hey, keep an eye out. I'm looking for a solid state drive, possibly 3.5, but I definitely could do the adapter, which for Howie, I'm not sure where it's at now. I lost it, but I did get the adapter today. There it is. So Howie was talking about the adapter. My adapter for the 2.5 came, and we'll talk about that in a second. So I hawed around about solid state drive. Finally, I decided to pull the trigger on a terabyte SSD, and it cost me $130 on Amazon. It came in. I got some ghosting software or cloning software, depending on how old you are. If you're old, it's ghosting. If you're new, it's cloning. And basically what it does, it makes an exact copy of the drive. So what I did was make an exact copy of my the boot up drive that I had. So now it's an SSD. So now we're going from 4 minutes and 27 seconds with the old drive and old RAM, and then new RAM, take it down to 317, and then new RAM and SSD took it down to 2 minutes. So basically adding like whatever it was, $56 or whatever it was with RAM, and another 130 on the SSD. I cut my rendering time on videos in half. And this is, like I said, it's a 10-year-old computer, so it's a 2nd gen i3. And from the time I press the on button till I take the mouse and click to open a program, it does it in about 23 seconds. So I have access to things from boot up in about 23 seconds. So that's something to think about. I kind of thought about maybe doing a video on that because, you know, my first thought was, okay, I'm going to drop $1,000 on a computer. I needed to. 10 years ago, I spent the money on it and all that stuff. But with technology now, those 2 little upgrades are going to get me years more on this, because it's not that I need something super duper powerful. So if it takes me 2 minutes to render a 4-minute video, in my world, I'm okay with that. Someone else who maybe does it, 20 times a day for a profession, that's probably really slow. But by just adding the solid state drive and the RAM, things are like right now, programs are open that were slow or opening up. And I tell you all that to get to the point of when I started doing the video tonight to go online, I realized that I had never put the drivers in from the first time that I put the new hard drive in, not the solid state I ghosted, but the one I replaced. I never did the drivers for any of the Logitech camera software or OBS software. I had nothing. So I'm scrambling around about 30 minutes before the show to do all this. And then I'm seeing that I'm having some glitching problems, and it was like, stuttering. And I hit John up and told him, I said, what should I do? This is what's going on. I said, I'm almost positive the fact that I haven't updated the drivers for all of the Logitech stuff. And he hooked me up to this setup here that we're doing right now. So we're going through Zoom and we're broadcasting out to all the different spots. So that's where we're at with this. And I'm going to try to keep an eye on everything. And I'm taking questions. Also keep in mind that next Monday, that whatever next Monday's date is, the 4th, John, Dan, and I will be doing a pre-DJ Expo show. So you guys can check that out and see, talk about some of the stuff that's going on. I will talk about some of it tonight. I don't know how much I should talk about, because there's some stuff I know that I don't know if it's okay to talk about, but I think I'm probably going to anyways, because I'm that kind of person. So let's look at the chat. So hello, DJ Rez, Rob A, Jimmy, what's going on? Rez, I will come back to your question in a second. Hello, Howie. Who else is in there? Scott Carroll, you're over here now. Awesome. And Howie's there. So yeah, a lot of support there. Howie's talked about how he doubled his RAM and put an SSD on a Windows 7 laptop, and now it's blazing fast. That's what I was saying. For that price, less than $200 on a 2nd gen i3, which is just stupid old. I mean, it's just stupid old. I'm sorry. In tech world, that's old. And I'm blown away by how fast everything is. So, and I spent all day today because I'm getting ready. I will be going to the DJ Expo, and I am doing another set in the Denon booth and one for the DJNTV Insiders Party, and I was putting together music for that. So I had virtual open on this thing, testing stuff with a tiny controller hooked up to it. I had Ableton open and a couple other things because I'm testing this song and this scratch sample, moving it to this key and changing this and doing all this stuff. And it was just in real time in front of me. So little things like that can make a big, big difference. So if you think you need a new computer, maybe start with stuff like this. Whether it be a laptop or a desktop, either way, you know, little things, like I said, for that price and the amount of speed I gained is just, to me, is just stupid that I gained that much for just that price. So, how he says, first question, can you teach me how to wiki like Jimmy? I can, and I'm not going to lie, I can. But it will take practice. I always say in my DJ classes that I could show you 100 times, but you'll have to practice 1,000 to get it. I will be doing some scratching in the set, and I'm trying to debate when we do the thing for the Insiders private party at the DJ Expo. For those of you who are going, last year we all just did sets, and I may do a set like that again, or I may do an educational thing for you guys. I don't know, to answer questions. But last year it was just people who were there, like Dan and John's son Michael and Jimmy, and I don't know if anybody else spun or not. I spun, and it was just kind of a showcase thing, and it can be that again. I'm okay with that. But the expo is kind of a weird thing. Once you get past that point of the person who just goes to the expo and now you're involved like I am, it's weird. I feel weird doing some of this stuff because I know when I come back home, I'm just going to be DJ Michael Joseph here. And when I'm there, I'm getting to do some stuff. I'm blessed to get to do stuff in the Denon booth again this year. DJ Shaney's going to be in the Denon booth this year. John Son Michael's going to be in the Denon booth this year. And a whole bunch of other incredibly talented DJs will be spinning in the booth throughout the day. You'll have to check. I don't know where at the schedule. I'm late on Wednesday right now, the date when I'm spinning. So it's Wednesday afternoon when I'm spinning. I think Michael's spinning Tuesday afternoon. Shaney has, I think, 2 different sets, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday. I think, I'm not sure, because I know she's also in a couple other places. So you can come by and check it out and see what we're doing. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to try to put on a little show with some scratching, spinning, beat juggling, creative stuff that I do, you know, stuff like that. So that's what's going on there. So going back to the, yeah, I could actually do that, Jimmy. Jimmy said I could just jam. And that's one of the things that I've always liked to do is like to just kind of play it off the cuff and not have stuff planned and just see what I can do just by being creative. And that was always one of my things that literally the idea that I got a zillion years ago was a DJ by the name of DJ Shadow used to go into record stores around the United States. He's a pretty famous guy. He has multiple records out, stuff like that. And he would do a "you bring it, I'll spin it" party. And basically you could bring him any record because he was spinning vinyl then when he was doing it. And he would mix it in and scratch and do different things. So you literally could bring him anything. And I kind of done that a few times in my life. And this possibly could be what this is at the, Insiders party, because it's laid back, it's cool, it's probably one of the most comfortable and encouraging spots I've been a part of with other DJs, because there's always egos involved in DJs and showing off, and this was just silly fun is what it was. And I don't mean silly fun as in not talented, but just it was just a bunch of dudes and ladies. When I say dudes, I mean that in the general sense of people, just general people hanging out and having fun about DJing. That's what it kind of was. So, I'm going to pronounce your name wrong from Texas. Gibran. I apologize because I'm horrible at things. Disc Jockey News is trying to do some stuff. So we're going to be doing some stuff in different areas around the country. I don't know if you saw or not that we are tagging as part of the Photo Booth Expo in Vegas, February 2020, just, you know, a little over a half a year away. We're going to be doing stuff there. There's going to be demos, teaching, classes, speakers. I'm going to be spinning. So there'll be a lot of stuff there going on. You have to check with the page to get the information about the tickets. But I do know that it is all part of the Photo Booth Expo. You're not going to buy 2 tickets. You're going to buy 1, and you're all part of that. So questions from the chat. I'm not seeing a lot pop up. I know I'm talking a lot. I do have to go all the way back and hit up DJ Rez's question. I don't know what I'm supposed to say and not supposed to say. So I'm only going to share what's out there. So I'm not going to divulge anything whatsoever. I'm just going to show you what's out there, what you can find. I wanted to do a video on this, but there was another site who leaked some information about this. A DJ, it was a blog from a DJ equipment company that they sell equipment, and they have a blog with information, news, and stuff like that. And they popped up this information. It's where I first saw it. And when I saw it, I shared it with a couple friends. I'm like, look at this. And then I went back today to look at it, and it's taken down. So possibly they've been asked to take it down. I don't know. So all I'm going to do is right now is I'm going to show you a tiny clip from someone's Twitter page, and I'm going to show you exactly what they have. I'm not going to expand upon it. I don't think this will get me in trouble because it's out there. It's being shared on Twitter. Doesn't seem like a lot of views though. Instagram too. I guess it's being thrown up on Instagram. But there had been talk about Pioneer. Like, this is what I had heard months ago, and I can't. This isn't me giving out any information. I had heard that Newmark was supposed to come out with something new. Denon was supposed to come out with 2 things new, and Pioneer was supposed to come out with 2 things new. I can't confirm any of that. I don't know, but that's what they were talking. As the industry goes, you know that these companies are due for new things. Like Newmark is due for a new NS7 and maybe something else. They come out with a couple things last year that are awesome. I do know that I've seen Newmark tweet about, the tweet was basically, hey, we hear you guys. We know you're asking for a new NS7. We're listening to your ideas. Please be patient. So that was one of their tweets that they put out on the Newmark Twitter page. Or Instagram, I'm not sure which it was, but that tells me that they're definitely coming out with something. So whether it's coming out at the expo or later down the road before Christmas, I don't know. So that's what that is. So what I'm going to share with you now, I hope I'm able to do this here. Let me do that. And I'm going to, gosh, I can't even remember how to do this stuff now. So I need to share a page. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share a page, run a 16-second video from the page, and then come back. So hold on here. You're going to be able to hear me. So, all right. So can you guys see that page there? Okay. I'm guessing you can see the page. Here goes the video, 16 seconds. Let's take it back from here. And whoop, there it is. It's coming up. So here we go. 16 seconds. That's all you're going to get of this. And then we are out of here on to something else. There's your video. And there we go. That's the whole video. So that's what you get. I know some information about it that I'm not going to share. So that's all I'm sharing is what's right there. Nothing else. I'm not going to say anything else. So any other questions aside from that? I know I'm a jerk. Jimmy says he wants a big monitor for his NS7 III. My thought was, I was talking to a friend last night because I have a couple friends that, we geek out about gear, and literally at 2:00 in the morning last night, we're discussing this and stuff. And we thought, that what could you do to the NS7 to improve it? Would it be to make it a standalone? Would it be to make it lighter? What would you do? And we really could come up with any direction that we felt that would go, they'll probably go this direction. I don't know which direction they're going to go. My guess would be possibly some standalone ability, so that, because you got to remember that Newmark is owned by the same company that Denon is. So that means that In Music would then own a standalone controller with non-motorized platters and a standalone controller with motorized platters if they put a standalone ability with the NS7. So that's, like I said, I have no information on that whatsoever. I don't know anything. So that's a thought with that. Jimmy, you and I both know how much the NS7 weighs. I owned the first NS7 and I really did love it, but it's a very heavy controller. There's a lot of weight to it. And so imagine the NS7 now with its own onboard screen and onboard computer. So that's going to go from, I think it's a 54 or 56 pound, no, 34 or 36 pound device up. So think about that. What are your thoughts on the battery problems with the phase? Howie asks. It's so crazy. I've used them, tried them both at the expo, and I have several friends that own them here. And it's funny because there's a portion of the audience that has had zero problems with them. And I mean zero. They love them. And then there's a portion of the audience that has had a lot of problems with them. I know guys that have had them freeze and won't recharge. I know guys that have had them. I saw one the other day where the battery had, like, did you ever see a phone that's overcharged and it heats up and it expands? Well, it had expanded. So the charging of it had expanded. So it's really funny that there's such a split with that right now, that you have guys that love it, use it every time they DJ and have zero problem. And then you have guys that are like, oh, these things are crap, but they still keep coming back for more and using them. So I think it's going to work out, because this is a weird thing to kind of think about, that in a lot of things right now, and those of you who play a lot of video games, you see it where a company will put out a video game and it's not totally completed. The graphics aren't that great. It's missing spots. And then they go, oh, we'll give you an update. We'll give you an update. We'll give you an update. So I think that that's what this is they came to the end, because you understand it's all about money. They maybe came to the end of their R&D funding and still had to go forward. So by putting it out there for sale, incomplete R&D, they were now making money from it to put back into R&D to make it better. And I see this with a couple things. I've heard some people say that about the Prime 4, that when it came out, same thing, in the SC5000, that they release it and then they do updates and updates and updates to where it's kind of a thing. Instead of holding on to it for another year and getting all the bugs worked out, they'll put it up for sale, take that money, put that money back into R&D to get all the bugs out, which is a horrible flip circle of life, because as my friend Derek and I were talking about, we feel like, they're dangling a carrot in front of us and then running us through a maze with no exit. So we're following this carrot, we want this, and there's no exit to the maze. We're just keep running around, and that's what we feel like. So I think it's awesome product. Like I said, what I've used of it, when I've used it, it ran flawlessly. It was smooth. I like it a lot. I think it's way overdue. The needle has, you can argue with me all you want, but I think the record needle has lived its life. Let it go. I'm okay with that, because I also think that you were going to see another device out there like the Rain 12, possibly Pioneer will put it out. But I've also used that, and if I didn't want to carry it, that's back to weight again. If I didn't want to carry weight around, I love the whole 12 and 72 system. I absolutely love it. Probably would maybe get the S9 mixer as opposed to the 72 mixer, but the whole thing is still just ridiculously awesome. But again, back to weight. So that's my thoughts behind that. So I'm sorry I don't have the decks up tonight. Can't show any mixing stuff. Past couple of times, people didn't really ask me mixing questions, but we'll have them. So back to the chat. Those of you who are watching on Facebook, I'm trying to catch some of the chats on like the DJNTV page and stuff. So if anybody puts a comment there, I'm going to try to see it. But if you pop over to Facebook, the links are in there. Pop over to YouTube. The links are in there for that. And you guys can put questions there. But if you put them other places, I really can't see the questions right now. So back into the chat. Somebody asked, as far as projectors, which ones would you recommend? I have one projector and it's crap, so I can't recommend anything, because you understand 99.9% of the gigs I do are bar or club. So I have speakers and lights and a video projector and all that, and I take it out maybe in 2019. I think I've had the speakers out 3 times, and one of those was a rental to a friend where he just wanted the speakers. I keep banging the table and making the camera shake. So look at that. But so I can't really recommend a lot of that, because like I said, I'm in bars and clubs 100% of the time. So like I said, in a year, I guarantee, like I said, this year I've had the stuff out maybe 3 times. So I'm walking in with a controller and a computer and DJing and walking out. That's me, 3-4 nights a week I'm out. So that's what that is. So I can't help you there. I apologize. So Howie says the original link is running at the same time. Cool. You have 2 YouTube feeds going now. Do I really have 2 YouTube feeds going now? It picked up the other one because it was probably in that same key. Holy crap. So people, I apologize. There's so many of me. You really don't want to see that much of me. I know. I apologize, but that's funny. So I'm going to try to maybe find the other one and see if I can see if there's a chat for it. Maybe. Is there a chat over there? I don't know. Yeah, there's some people did drop a few things in there, and Howie did put the other thing on there. So I'm seeing if there's anybody over there on the other one to see if it's feeding out to the other. You might get a hit of the sound here. Yeah, it is feeding over there. So now I have to look at 2 Facebook questions and 1 YouTube question. So I'll try to keep everything on there. So in the other chat, who's watching the other chat that popped up, I want to say hello to people over there. Randy's in there. Dance All Night 45's in there. I saw Gibran is moved over to the other chat. I'm going to see what Dance Hall's question is. How do you know if folks are not dancing at a private party because there's not enough or the right mix of people, or because people aren't feeling your programming? Well, here's the weird thing about dancing. And I always say, I teach DJ classes, been doing this literally for 31 years. And I say, there are 2 things that make a good DJ. One is knowing your music. And I don't mean I know the 80s, I know the 90s, I know the 2000s, I know hip hop, I know country, I know rock. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the version of the song you have with you. Do you know where it begins? Do you know where that first lyric is? Do you know where the last lyric is? Do you know where the breakdown is in the center? Because your transition to keep that energy going is going to matter on when you bring that in and where you play it. And it also includes versions. So I can have a song and have 3 or 4 versions of it. And there's a place that I do on Thursday nights that I could play one version. And if I went to the Friday night gig that I do and tried to play that one, there's no energy in the one I play Thursday night. I have to get another like twerk remix for the Friday night gig. So part of it is knowing your music and knowing what works with this crowd, because this crowd wants a remix or a pumping, not just a remix or a redrum, but a twerk version. And this crowd does not want that. So number 1 is knowing your music. And number 2 is being able to read the crowd, looking around, seeing feet tapping, shoulders going, and see who you can get up first. And then once you get them up first, then look around to see who's kind of like thinking about, yeah, I think I might get up there, and try to get them up there with the song, test some stuff. And this is why I say mixing is so freaking important, is that if you drop a song and nobody likes it, you need to be able to get out of that quickly, number 1. And number 2, don't make it seem like you're crashing in and out of songs. Make it seem like a proper transition, but the proper transition is in the literal middle of the song. Not out of place like halfway through a verse, but maybe after the verse, drop into another song's hot hook or chorus, and then follow it up with another hot hook or chorus. Don't just go the whole song. I'm going to play this thing crapped out, then I'm going to play a hook, and then a hook from another song, then a hook from another song, then I'm going to go into something else. Every DJ usually has at least 3 songs lined up. The song that's playing, the song you're going to mix, and another song after that. And then you have that exact same thing in a plan B. So if 1, 2, 3 craps, you got 4, 5, 6 in the back of your mind ready to go. And that's kind of how you keep them going, is that you're just not playing a hit. You're playing a hit and you're going 3. Like if you have a hit song that you know this is going to bang, I'll literally, some places when I'm DJing like the clubs and bars, I'll set up a hit song 30 minutes before that by building up to it to get the right drop at the right point when I have the crowd there, just to hit it, and then you get the maximum amount of pop out of it. So I'm 15 or 20 minutes all the time building into songs. I'm going to hit them with this. I'm going to hit them with this. I'm going to turn it up one. Okay, I'm going to turn it down, let them go grab a drink right now. Or okay, now it's a sing-along. Now I want just the girls' attention. I want just the guys' attention. So there's a lot of that game playing with the audience and moving stuff around like that. So I hope that helps. Like I said, it's a lot of just, like I said, reading the crowd, seeing it, working with things. I've been fooled by crowds before to where I see an older crowd and start dropping like 90s music, and they don't want the 90s music. They want newer stuff. And I've seen the opposite to where I've had younger crowds and start dropping stuff that's been out over the past month or 2, and then drop into something that's older and they go bananas. So it's not always age, it's place, it's atmosphere. Like I said, one place I DJ at, they don't do lights and stuff, so I'm kind of like just background, but everybody really gets into singing along and stuff there. And then another place is the full lighting, sound, dancing, the whole experience, video walls, the whole 9 yards, and you get a different atmosphere there. So you kind of have to know where you're at. Like I always tell people, when it comes to mixing, it's not just mixing, but you're going to mix differently the first hour, then the second hour, and the third hour, and the fourth hour. It's not going to be the same style all four. Go back the next week, you may be totally different again. Those all might be bundled up. Go to some place the night after that. Your mixing style, not just songs you play, but the mixing style, mixing hard in, quick out. One of the things that I always like to do is what I call posting. So the last word of the song going out ends on 8, and the first word of the song coming in is on 1. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So it's end, start. Some places that's too quick to where you have to drop the 8 and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hit that. So you have to leave some blend room for certain crowds. And by doing that with certain crowds, you entice them to get more involved, where the quick mix kind of makes them go, what the heck are you doing? But other places you do that, you have to do that quick mix or they're walking off the dance floor in a minute and a half. They literally will walk off the dance floor in a minute and a half. So it's a lot about reading that, the science of it, knowing the crowd, knowing different things like that. So I hope that helped. So we're going to go back over to the other tab. I see a lot of more comments there. I love the instant doubles. Instant doubles are awesome. Do you ever come across a mix more of a younger and older crowd where the same songs just won't hit? Yes. And this again is the reason why, and I've said this so many times, I feel like a broken record sometimes, that subscribing to a music service, having them give you a bundle of songs and expecting that to be enough is a waste of money and a waste of your time as a DJ. What you need to do is get your songs one by one. This song is on the Billboard chart. That's why I do one of my shows is This Week in Billboard, and This Week in Billboard Top 40. And basically I take a look at any song that pops into the top 40 of the Billboard Hot 100 chart for the first time. So if any song pops into the top 40, you need to go get it and get a couple versions of it. You need to get a regular version of it. You need to get something with a redrum that has a little bit of kick. And you also then need to get maybe a total full out remix. So to answer your question about the mixed crowds, I have mixed songs that get both. I have one that is a mashup of AC/DC's All Night Long and Fergie's Fergalicious, not Fergalicious, Black Eyed Peas Humps. And I have another one that takes Sweet Home Alabama and Country Grammar by Nelly and puts those together. And those are extremes of the idea of that. But by doing that, you can get both. Almost any old song I play, I have a redrum of it. So the one place that likes to sing along, I have a redrum of Toto's Africa. It is not a remix because there's a difference. It's not a remix where it's so freaking different. The song is in the same order, almost the same BPM, but it's got a more modern kick to it. And you will get both crowds with that. The older crowd will know the song. The newer crowd was like, I like this kick. I just recently got a I guess you would almost call it a Mamba Tone remix of Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA. Not that old of a song, but I thought it needed something fresh. I saw DJ City had it. It was a great little remix. Went and grabbed it. So now I'm taking an older song and adding a new beat to it, and it just breathed a whole new breath of fresh air into it. So catching your crowds, like I said, it's about knowing your music. I need to go to this song tonight, or I need to go to that song tonight. A couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine, another DJ, who gave me a break way back in the day when it came to DJing, came and hang out with me. And I'm hitting them up with a lot of like twerk mixes and stuff like that. And I stopped for a second and turned around to him and said, I need to dumb this down. And he just kind of looked at me because he knows in my mind, because he thinks it's funny that I talk my way through mixing. And I said, I need to dumb this down. So I backed off some of the twerk mixes and just went to simple redrums and kind of let it be a little more simple. And they just immediately come in, and like an hour and a half later, I'm dropping twerk mixes and they're going bananas with the twerk mixes. So it was one of those things where I had to twist it this way and then twist it that way and stuff like that. So that's why I say about knowing your songs. So, and always go back and get different versions. I just went back and got another version of one of Jason Derulo's songs where I wanted a little different version of that. I got a twerk remix of Let Me Clear My Throat, which totally does its own thing with that. So grab stuff like that all the time. So I hope that helped. We're going to move on to the next question. DJ Rez, I DJ at bars. That's all ages, all backgrounds, really tough to keep everyone happy. It is a game of chase. It absolutely is a game of chase. So I don't look at keeping people happy. I look at keeping people there. And I always tell people who are young DJs, the majority of what you need to do at a bar or club is make the owner or manager happy. One of the places I DJ at, it's packed all the time. I mean, crazy packed. And I'll hear the manager. I'm like, hey, it was a good night tonight. And the manager will go, I just wish they would spend more on alcohol. They're just not buying enough alcohol. So he was down and depressed. Pace was literally packed to the limit, line out the door. No one else was allowed in, but they weren't spending as much as he wanted. So I have to figure out ways, they're not going to blame me for that, but he might. So I have to make him happy. I know other places that an owner will walk up and say, play this song. And that song is going to crap the place out, but the owner wants to hear it and you have to play it. So it's a lot about making the owner happy. So if you're showing up there week after week at that bar where it's all ages and they keep wanting you to come back and keep giving you a paycheck, you're doing something right. You may not be driving the dance floor crazy. You may not be setting the world on fire, but the paycheck is still there. And that's, I think, one of the most important things you have to realize, that if you want to do it for that crowd, you might have to chase it a little different direction and give up maybe some money to go different direction, or maybe give up a steady weekly thing to go different direction. But you kind of have to play the crowd. Like I said, if you were to come and hang out with me Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night DJing, you would see 3 dynamically different places who all paid the exact same amount. So it's tough. It's a chase game. But I'll tell you, I think you probably already know this. Make the girls dance and you're winning. So aim for the girls, make them dance, and you're winning. So that's the best I could do there. Gabriel says, first time hearing about the term redrum. Basically what a redrum is they take a song and they put a modern beat to it. Like I said, the Miley Cyrus one that has a mamba tone background to it. I might be able to play it 10 seconds here. Give me 10. If I still have that open. No, I don't have it in this one. Or do I? No, I don't have it in this one. So let me do a real quick search here. See what I can do here to find your redrum and play you 10 seconds of it. Trying to think what I could play here that is new or old. I'm going to go new. Trying to find something here. That's not a good one. That's not a good one. Is that one in here? Is it by Bruno Mars? I'm not finding it because I'm not on my DJ computer tonight. So I'm looking here. This is it. So this is, first you got to let me know if you can hear it when I play it. Because I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear it. So hit me up in the chat. Yeah, the Old Town Road, this is a good thing. I hate country music. Anybody knows me knows I hate country music. And Old Town Road they've now set the world record for the most weeks at #1 for any song ever. So I have to play it, but I don't like playing it. So I have a redrum version that has a little bit faster BPM and a nice kick in the background. And then the one I play 90% of the time now is someone made a mashup of Timber by Kesha and Old Town Road. And that's what I play probably 90% of the time right now. Crowds love it. It's a sing-along song, everything. See if I have that Bon Jovi one. No, is it what the Bon Jovi one? Yeah, Yeah, this is the Steve R redrum. So let me know if you can hear this. Right. All right, so let me know if you can hear that right there. This is just the long intro there. So we're going to let people know if you can hear it first before I go any further. I don't think I have the Old Town Road one in this backup. The Old Town Road's still on the other one. I don't think I did a backup of it. Yes, I do have it, so you guys can hear that tonight. So hit me up in the chat on one of the two YouTubes. Look, because we have actually 2 YouTube feeds going tonight and 2 Facebook feeds. So I'm trying to catch the questions from both. I went back to the other YouTube feed, and JW asked about the device that I showed a video. So go back and look at this video after the show's over. I don't want to talk about it because we've not given any permission to talk, but on Twitter, someone had a 16-second video, and I showed the 16-second video on their Twitter page. So that's all I'm going to say about it. So go back and look at that. Or if you just want to go to Twitter and type in what you typed in the questions there, in Twitter search, and Twitter will bring that up and show you the video. So it is still out there. Okay, so you can hear it. So this would be the Bon Jovi. So that beat at the beginning is the part of the beat. So that's one redrum there. This is another one over here by Bruno Mars. This is a complete kind of remake. It's an old school take on his song Money Can't Buy Finesse. They took an old school beat. So there's a redrum. And this is the Old Town Road Timber. Again, I hope I don't get busted by RIAA because we've had some issues with them, but I'm just playing it to let people hear. So that's Timber, as you know, Timber. But wait, you hear something in the background. Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town. And I'm gonna jump ahead, let you hear a little bit more. And that's the version that I play. So just to let you know. So there's a lot of stuff like that out there. And there's just endless, like I said, and I just buy redrums of stuff. What was the other Bon Jovi one? Talking about old and new. Is this the one? Oh, this is it. So do you remember the song Paper Planes by MIA a few years ago? This is one where they took Bon Jovi's Dead or Alive and put it with that, and I think it makes a cool little mix. It's all the same. Only the names will change. Oops. Everything's alright. I'm wanted. So that's a redrum that you're going to be able to catch both crowds with. You can catch the old and the new with that. And it's just stuff like that. You got to hunt and hunt. Like I said, part of your job as a DJ is to continually look for music. Every week, you should be getting new stuff, both the new stuff that hits the charts and going out and look for new stuff to be able to play places to get crowds going. And make edits, because there was an edit of a song that came out a couple weeks ago. What was it? I don't remember. And I thought that they put a bridge in it that was too long. So I went and edited the bridge out that was too long and made the song just a touch shorter. And I think it really changed everything, and everybody, it just really worked with the crowd. So those are important things to hunt stuff like that down. There's a lot involved in a DJ's life, what you have to do. And I just think all this is important to be a good DJ, is to work your way through all this kind of stuff. So, all right, back to some questions from either one of the Facebook places. I'm going to look at Facebook and see if anybody dumped anything on either one of the Facebooks. I don't think so. So everybody's on YouTube right now, I think. So drop your questions in YouTube. I still have about 15 minutes because I want to let the show go about an hour. And we're about 45 minutes into it, I think. I don't know. But feel free to drop questions about anything you want. If you'd like to hear me ramble about stuff, I can do that too, endlessly. So, how's everybody's summer going? I would like to say that I was so freaking busy at 4th of July. You know, I shouldn't complain about being busy, but I was so busy DJing 4th of July stuff that I did not get to see one single firework this year. Not one single firework. And I was like, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Because yes, I worked, I earned money. But wait, I didn't see any, I didn't celebrate. So that was kind of weird. I see we have Dave Henderson jumped in on the YouTube Facebook. What's going on, Dave? We're also on I'm sorry, he's on the DJNTV Facebook. We're also over here on the YouTube. There's actually 2 YouTube feeds. Click on one of the links below and it will take you to the YouTube feed. You can be part of that chat too if you'd like. Scott Carroll says, has a fun summer, just slow. Oh, does that mean you're having a fun summer? Okay, yeah, sorry. You have to spell things out for me. I tend to be a little bit, the word that I've learned about me is that I'm hyper logical or hyper literal. Sorry, hyper literal. So I tend to be very literal about things. He's had a fun summer. Summer's not over yet. Come on, child, please. It's just now the end of July. We still got the dog days of August going on. Summer's still rolling. I've got a lot ahead of me. I still got to work on my tan. I don't have much. I got to do that yet. So yeah. So feel free to hit me up with questions if you guys have questions. Like I said, I'm trying to keep an eye on all the 3 different pages, see what's going on there. So what is going on? So feel free to drop questions if you have there. I don't know what else I could talk about. Like I said, Expo's coming up. It's going to be interesting this year because last year, for those of you who went, there wasn't a whole lot of new products. There were new events. So there was a lot of great seminars. There were several awesome parties to go and see DJs and hang out. But when it came down to just hardware, there wasn't a lot of new hardware last year. And I know because the expo is in Atlantic City, they get a lot of drive-in traffic. So a lot of people come, they'll either get the free expo pass by registering ahead of time or pay the $50 for one ahead of time, or I think it's like $80 at the door where it only covers the showroom. And a lot of people go just for that and a few of the other parties and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see where it's going this year. I don't know where they're going to be with vendors and stuff like that. Big names that are attending this year. What's his name? Z-Trip is going to be there. Actually, I have information on that here in a second. Give me 10 seconds to. Oops, nope, not what I wanted here. Because it's Z-Trip, and hopefully I get to meet him because I've met a lot of DJs in my life, but I've never got to meet Qbert. And Qbert is going to be there. Let me get the right one here because they sent me an email about stuff. We're actually going to be talking about this on Monday. There we go. Monday's kickoff party is at the Herod Pool, which where it was last year. It was a neat little party, but the room, because it's a pool, didn't have the greatest sound, but it was fun. They're doing a retro flavored beach bash this year. Tuesday nights, they've got Eden Lounge. PV's doing Keith Shockley, plus the DMC champ, DJ Throwdown, and Scratch Pioneers. Grand Wizard Theodore is going to be there. I got to meet him last year. Awesome dude. He was the person who first created the Scratch. And there's a great story behind that if you get to sit into that. The Bose Club B session is going to be going on with free pizza. A lot of great DJs, including our very own DJ Shaney is going to be there, Chi-Town Shaney. Entertainer of the Year thing that's going to be going on at Golden Nugget. I'm trying to remember who is the keynote speaker this year. Because I know that the Z-Trip, Qbert, and the other ones are going to be at the BPM event on Tuesday night. That starts, I think, like 9 o'clock at night. That one starts. Trying to see who is there. Those are the past keynote speakers I want this year. Show me information on this year. if you want to go to the DJExpo.com, you can read the stuff that I'm reading too. You don't have to sit here. You don't have to sit here like this. But there's a lot of stuff going on this year. Like I said, they're bringing in some big names, and it's kind of funny because you have the separation of the world between the mixed DJ and the separation between the mobile DJ. And it's like John and I will sit there and he'll talk about somebody in the mobile world, a speaker on the lines of like what's his name, Mike Walters, someone on that line, and I'll go like, nah, I'm not really interested. But then again, I'll see DJ Shortcut, and I'll be like, dude, I have my picture with DJ Shortcut, and he's like, who? You know, so you have the two audiences there for that. Nick Sano is Disco Era Pioneer. He's going to be a keynote speaker from him. Z Trip is going to be a keynote speaker, and like I said, he's going to be doing the party with him and Qbert and several other guys, including a Pittsburgh DJ. ADMC is going to be there. Who else is going on here? There's a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, the Bo's Pizza Party, but go look at the page; they'll tell you everything that's going on here. Yeah, so Jimmy is giving us an entire breakdown of Grandmaster Theodore. Great stories, all that kind of stuff. Scribble, I'm sure, will be there. Scribble's there every year. He's an absolute maniac. He's worth going and seeing because the man does a workout on the tables that's just crazy. Probably 2017 DMC champ DJ Pearlie's going to be there. Incredible. I got to see her very close up do a demo routine this past summer, earlier this year, actually. I guess it was still a little cold out, so it was like early spring, and it just blew me away, the talent and the stuff that, because, you know, like I said, I try to do this stuff, and it would be like someone, you know, saying I'm a fast runner, and then they're getting out there and literally running at their top speed, and someone just runs right past them. That's kind of the equivalent of what it felt like watching her. It's just like, oh geez, you know, if she broke one of her arms and got arthritis in the other one, she could still outdo, 90% of the people. So that's always awesome to see stuff like that. And the wonderful thing, if you've not been to the expo, one of the wonderful things about it is that you get to talk to these people, and just, you're on the showroom floor and there they are, and you say hi to them and you start talking to them. It's not like, it's like, oh my gosh, we can't go talk. No, they're there. Just say hi, be cool, get your picture with them, say, hey, love your stuff, etc., stuff like that. So, but like I said, I'm going to be geeking out this year that I want to get to meet Qbert. He's one of the ones I've never met. I've never met Z-Trip either. That'd be awesome to get him too. Jazzy Jeff, I don't know if it's going to be there or not, but Jazzy J always is. And Jazzy J's another old school person that has a lot of history in the DJ world, and he's always around. Great guy just to sit and BS with. He's a really cool guy. So again, these are all ones that someone maybe from the mobile world wouldn't know. So maybe all the people who are doing the seminars, you can go look at those too, because I don't know. I also want to say hi to is it Lemon? Limi Lemon on the other Facebook chat says hello. He's going to be there. So besides all the famous people, there's also all the non-famous people, like myself, that you can just hang out with and talk to and stuff like that. It's crazy. Take lots of energy shots and coffee. You're going to need it. So it's just, it's crazy. So we're about at our hour mark. So unless anybody has any questions, I'm going to check the two little Facebook pages again, see if anybody's dropping anything in there. Nothing on the Facebook, on the two YouTubes. I can't believe that I'm actually doing two YouTubes tonight. Actually, I think including the two YouTubes, we're broadcasting to like 8 places tonight. And that includes, I think, Chew TV and quite a few other ones. So those are on Chew TV. I have a few people there that don't really like me. So my haters on Chew TV, what's up? How you doing? Randy at Sound Up Sessions, Tuesday night hangout is the best at the pub. Not only is it the best at the pub, but they have great freaking food there. But it is going to be, like I said, last year's party, it's one of the few rare points of gathering together with DJs where there's no ego, there's no agendas, they're just people hanging out and having fun. Halfway through the night, it started raining a little bit when John's son Michael was DJing. And you never saw, I mean, people who love their equipment, you never saw so many people jump up and grab a tarp because they knew the value of the equipment and the computers, and just stood there and hold the tarp up over Michael. Michael looked at me, he goes, "What do I do?" I said, "Just keep rocking it, dude. You got this." And he just laughs, and we're just holding up the tarp. And, that's the way it is. It wasn't like, it was people hanging out. So I look forward to that because, like I said, this world, the DJ world's a very cutthroat, nasty business sometimes. It gets really ugly sometimes. But that's always a cool hangout. And hopefully this year I can get my mind set enough that I can sit down and actually enjoy food instead of just wolfing it down to get ready to do something else. And, that kind of threw me off last year. So the tarp brigade. Yeah, it was, I think Jimmy has pictures. So of the tarp thing. Cause I saw him recently share some pictures from last year's event online recently. I don't know if it was Facebook or what, but I think I have some too. So if you probably go to my Facebook page and go down into the pictures, there's pictures from last year. I don't know if there's a tarp picture there or not, but there's some awesome stuff there. But like I said, it's awesome. If you don't get to go, Disc Jockey News is going to have probably about 5 people dropping videos all week long. Again, next Monday night, the 5th, John, Dan, and I are going to be doing a pre-show, and we're going to basically be talking about all the things that we know at that point. Right now, we don't know anything new other than the thing I shared earlier and was not allowed to talk about, so I don't talk about it. But next week, whatever we are able to talk about, we're going to talk about and have you pictures if we have it like that. Another question in there, have you used any wireless mics? If so, what system would you recommend? I have a really old Shure SM58 wireless that I absolutely love. I have a friend that has the new digital version that he absolutely loves. But there are quite a few other brands out there that are just as awesome. So you might want to ask someone else because I don't stay up on, again, as a mobile, as a club DJ. I literally, one of the places I DJ at, I booked for a couple of the different places, like bring DJs in for a couple of different places, and brought a guy in that was on the mic a lot. And the owner said he was literally ready to go over and throw him out for being on the mic. So places I DJ at, I've literally been told no mics allowed in the booth. That's part of what it is. Your job is to mix and keep the crowd involved by mixing. So I don't have a lot of information or experience on mics other than the little ones I have. The one that's in my case that I take to clubs or in the bag is a $20 Pile mic that I got off eBay. $20 is all I paid for it, because if I go out somewhere and somebody dumps something on it, or if I drop it, I ain't losing a whole bunch of money. So I take a $20 mic with me almost 99% of the time. There's one in my bag back there. There's one in my case. I think there's one in my car. So I always have backups. So if something craps out, I have extras, but I don't take expensive stuff out. Like I said, my computer is really high end, and my Denon MC7000. Thanks, Denon, for all the help that they do and getting me in the booth this year and all the different things. They helped me out with my fader last year. So we do that. And also keep in mind, and I know this is a stupid plug for those of you watching, I've got another MC7000. The other one, because I'd used it so much, the buttons went bad on it. I've sent it out to get repaired, and when it comes back, it will be up for sale. So if you're interested in an MC7000 with brand new buttons, brand new crossfader, all that kind of stuff, hit me up. I will have it for sale in a couple of weeks. But yeah, so thank you, Scott. Everybody, if you get a chance, give a thumbs up. Feel free to comment afterwards if you're watching this on demand later on. Sorry it was so crazy and bananas, but like I said, we were having some issues with some of the stuff. I didn't have the right drivers for it. As you see, everything went great tonight. Everything's there. But hopefully in the future, we'll keep doing stuff like this and learn and grow and be able to bring you stuff. Probably the end of August, I'll do another music and mixing, because I've been doing it on the last Wednesday of the month during the summer. I'll maybe have the decks back up if you have any mixing questions, maybe after the expo. Because last year, if you want to see the set that I did last year, go back and look at late August Disc Jockey News videos from last year, and I broke down song by song, sample by sample, my entire set. So you can go back and look at that. I think it's called The Science of the Mix or something like that. But it was about this time, about like the week after the expo, where I broke down the entire set that I did, and you'll see why I spent on a 30-minute set, spent 60 hours worth of time preparing a 30-minute set. And the same for this one. I'm adding another 30-minute set to it, and I'm not going to have 60 hours into it, but I'm probably going to have about 30 or 40 into this one. I'm not packing it so crazy bananas is the, excuse me, the other ones I did. I'm kind of letting it be a groove. I got some cool groove songs in there. I got a thing I'm especially doing with a Daft Punk mashup and a Michael Jackson song and all these things that I'm kind of bringing in there. So I'm kind of trying to be a little fun with that, but I can talk about all that kind of stuff too. So I think that takes it there. Clubs, Scott said clubs have changed. They wanted on the mic back in the 80s. Yeah, I'm telling you, this business, you got to understand here. And I got another question came in on the other one. I'll get to Randy, your question in a second, but I want to hit Scott's thing here. That in this business, you got to understand that they've always had a thing called the 1,000-day rule. So when a club opens up in 1,000 days, you're no longer considered relevant. You're not saying that people won't show up, but you lose that novelty. And basically look at that as a 3 or 4 year thing. Someone goes into college, they get into the drinking age. 3 or 4 years after that, they're starting to get into working a job, a wife, a kids. They stop going out. So every 3 or 4 years, just 3 or 4 years, the whole scene changes. And that includes things like mixing. I had a friend that came out a while back, and I literally, it wasn't a quick mix like you'll see me do in the expo. It was a promo only short edit that I played. And he's like, what the heck was that? And I'm like, that's a short edit. He's like, who wants that? I said, everybody. Because I literally will have people at times that'll do this. And that means, please change the song. And people want the stuff quick. Where before, if you dared touch the song, it was a terrible thing. But now they want it. And I actually had a friend who took my DJ classes, and he does all weddings. And he said at a wedding, he decided to try to really push himself and do not quick mixing like the really fast stuff, but not the whole song. Mix, mix, mix. And he said he just had people just pouring out of their seats onto the dance floor. He said him and his wife were looking at each other going, I can't believe that this has made this much of a difference. So this next generation is used to hearing mixing because they hear it everywhere. They hear it on YouTube. They kick on YouTube. There's thousands and hundreds of thousands of DJ mixes out there. They're all over Spotify. They're everywhere. So mixing is the norm now. So again, every 3 or 4 years, stuff changes. In the 2010, 2011 era, you had to mix songs that were like 120 BPM and up. Now everything's 70 to 85 BPM. So things change. The mic stuff changed. Maybe the mic will come back in the future. I don't know. But right now, they really want you to mix. Like I said, that one owner was so mad. He was literally ready to throw the guy out, in the middle of the night, stop the music, get out, club's done, shut it down. He was that upset about it. So we'll go back to the question here. Randy said, hang out here. Is the MC7000 compatible with Virtual DJ 7 or 8 only? Will you not believe, Randy, you are the second person that's asked me that question this week. Someone else asked me, is the MC7000 compatible with Virtual DJ 7? Now, 7 is the older version. They no longer support it. You can't find anything on the website about it. I don't think it's been supported for 3 or 4 years now. I think it is, but I can't promise you that it is. But if you have a 7 license, the 8 is free. So go get Virtual DJ 8. It is so much better. It does so much more. It gives you so many more options. It's solid as can be. If you have the 7 license, you can get the 8 for free. So get the 8, give it a try. And this is the cool thing about it. 7 and 8 are so different. You can put the 8 on the same computer as the 7, run the 7, and open up 8, and they don't interfere with each other. So you can have it there, try it, practice it, not lose your 7 until you're ready to go over to 8. So that was the cool thing about it, is that you can keep your 7 until you're ready to, you keep trying it out at home, test it, all that kind of stuff. And then when you're ready to DJ out with 8, you just open 8 and start DJing from 8. 7's still there if you want it. I know I still have 7 on this computer, and I know I still have 7 on my DJ computer, but I haven't opened it in 3 years. But it's there. So, Denon or Rain announcing something new. I can't comment on either of those because I don't know. I don't know, honestly, on either one of those. Yeah, Randy says he's familiar with 8. He has 8, but just not familiar with it yet. Take some time with it, because I'm telling you, it took me 3 years from when they released 8, the first release of it, almost 3 years before I DJ'd out with it. And then once I did, I was like, I should have switched much sooner, because there's so much more to it. It's just endless what it can do. So take some time and do that. I'm looking at the last questions here on no more questions over there, no more questions over here. So thank you guys for hanging out. Sorry maybe if I went long-winded. Sorry that the show started late, all that kind of stuff. But again, thank you guys. I'll definitely be back Monday with John and Dan to talk about the expo. I'll be back next month for another music and mixing night, open questions, open Q&A. Be dropping mini videos between then. If you have any ideas or show thoughts, or would you do a video about this, do not hesitate to send them to me, because you would not believe how many of my shows come from people sending me the ideas that I went, holy crap, I've never talked about that. So I'll do a video from it. So until next time, take care of yourselves, and more importantly, take care of each other. It is a crazy world out there. God bless.